Well, good afternoon. I want to thank you for being with us today for a very, very special event. And it means so much to us at the College of Southern Maryland to be able to host something that we have been thinking about for many, many years. And I apologize. I have a cold, that's why I'm not shaking hands. Hopefully many of you I've elbow bumped. But definitely, it may be cloudy outside, but certainly it is very sunny in our hearts because of the importance of this day. I think you all know that the college has had a long and distinguished record of serving our community through excellence. And that's what we always strive for, excellence in the services we provide, as well as through innovation. And I think you know our history. We began in the year 1958. I was 8 years old at the time, not even thinking about Charles County from Philadelphia. But we started as Charles County Junior College in 1958 to address the growing population of individual citizens of Charles County who knew they needed a college education to get ahead. And next, realizing that the citizens of St. Mary's County needed those same educational, workforce development, personal enrichment programs, St. Mary's County government came on board, and we entered into an agreement with them in 1978 to offer courses there. Calvert County followed in 1980, and so we became one family, happy family, although we were still Charles County Community College. In 1997, some of you may remember when we were in Great Mills, and that's where we offered our educational programs in St. Mary's County. We moved to our wonderful Leonardtown campus in 1997. And in 2005, we moved from Brooms Island Road, some of you may remember that facility, to our new campus in Prince Frederick. But the most seminal event, other than our founding, was in the year 2000, and that's when we became the College of Southern Maryland. And I arrived 6 years later, in the year 2006, and the trustees at the time gave me one major goal, actually two. Don't screw up was one of them, and help to make this one college, not a confederation of 3 campuses in 3 counties that play nice together, but truly one college. And we have worked very diligently to make that happen. And so today, we are going to do 2 things that will definitely mark that this is truly a regional college that serves the needs of the residents of all 3 counties. First, we're going to dedicate our new campus, our 74-acre campus, which you can see through the windows to your left. It's a beautiful facility right off of Route 5. And also, we're going to break ground for our first building, our Center for Trades and Energy Training. And I believe that these 2 events really indicate that the college values equal service, equal proximity, equal access to high quality programs that are convenient to the citizens of all Southern Maryland. On a personal note, you may know that I personally have taken some personal heat for relocating our Center for Trades and Energy Training, which is right now in Waldorf, which I think we all know is a heavily populated area, out of Waldorf and to this new facility. Yet to have kept it in Waldorf would have denied who we are, because we know that citizens of St. Mary's and Calvert County were not getting the services that they needed and desired. We've worked with the Tri-County Council. There was a study done very recently to see how we can enhance bus service from St. Mary's County, from Charles County, from Calvert County, for all citizens if they don't have their own vehicles to get to this campus. And so we're going to do everything we can to ensure that no one is denied an education. And that's not just because of their ability to get to the campus here, but also it means that we're going to find the resources that we need so that every person in Southern Maryland gets the education that they need. And that's something that means so much to me as college president, so much to others. No one should ever be denied an education. And so we believe that this 74-acre regional campus is going to provide access to workforce development training and opportunities for the residents of all counties. And that's what we're all about, serving Southern Maryland. And I think you all know that we will continue to have our full-service campuses in all 3 counties. This campus will not provide basic English or math classes. This campus will provide for programs that are highly specialized that we cannot afford to replicate on more than one campus. Of course, programs such as the Center for Trades and Energy Training, we can't afford to put that in every one of our campuses. A health sciences building will come next. We can't afford to put one of those. We have it now in La Plata. We've got to replace it. Where are we going to put it? We're going to put it here. So citizens of all of Southern Maryland can have ready access to it. We're looking at relocating our Fine Arts Center. Our athletic fields will also come here in the future. We're grateful for so many individuals who have stood up and helped us to get to this point. As part of the process, when we started to envision a regional campus, we worked closely with the commissioners, then commissioners, in Charles, St. Mary's, and Calvert counties to ensure that they understood what we were trying to do and to get their support. And all were very supportive of our plans to bring educational programs closer to all citizens in Southern Maryland. Let me tell you a little bit about our building. We're going to be breaking ground for our new building, the Center for Trades and Energy Training. How many of you have seen it in Waldorf? Let me see some hands. Okay, 18,000 square feet. Beautiful building. It's too small. And it is up against the most northern region of the part of our region. We're breaking ground, as I indicated, for a building that will have 30,000 square feet, not 18,000, 30,000 square feet, that will increase the lab space by 50% and the classroom and office space as well. We believe that this is all about workforce development and will have a profound impact on Southern Maryland. There are many groups and individuals that helped to make this happen today, and I'd like to recognize some of them. First of all, our Board of Trustees, and let me get the list here. I'd like to recognize these individuals who understood the need for us to provide services to every area of Southern Maryland. Mrs. Dorothea Smith, that you'll be hearing from shortly, is our board chair. Our vice chair is Ted Harwood. Lois and Joe DiNatale, or Lois DiNatale, is a board member. Mary Krug, who was board chair at the time when we decided to move forward. Dr. John Roach and Dr. Janice Walthour have all played a seminal role in this decision of moving forward. Also with us today is Dr. Dolores Datcher, a former Board of Trustees members. We have a past member who is here today, Joe Slater. And Joe Slater, where is Joe? Joe Slater, very modest, as you all know Joe, head of SMECO, who worked closely with me and with others as we started this process. Worked with architects, with engineers, with owners of properties, and thank you, Joe, for all you did. You were a wonderful partner. The commissioners, and I would like to recognize all of our commissioners, and this is special. It is rare that you find all of the commissioners all together at the same place at the same time. And to me, that says volumes about what this college is all about and their support of the college. And I'd like to recognize all of them, if I may. We have Steve Weems, who you're going to hear from in just a little bit, who's the Commissioner President of Calvert County's board. Evan Slogenhop is here today. Thank you, Evan. Mike Hart, I don't know if I saw Mike. Not able to. Okay, or Pat Nutter or Tom? Oh, okay. I did see Terry Shannon, who is County Administrator. Thank you, Terry. And from Charles County, you'll be hearing from Peter Murphy, Commissioner President. Ken Robinson. And I have to say, you're going to hear from Ken. And I have to say that if it weren't for Ken Robinson's support, we would not be here today. This is a man of passion who understood the promise of this campus. Ken, thank you so much. Deborah Davis is with us today, Amanda Stewart, and Bobby Rucci from the Charles County Board. And also from Charles County, we have, I don't know if Michael Malinoff is here, County Administrator. Darrell Brown is here, who's the Director of Economic Development of Charles County. And last and certainly not least, St. Mary's County Commissioners. You're going to be hearing from James Randy Guy, who's Commissioner President of St. Mary's Board. Tom Jarbo is with us today. Thank you, Tom. As is Mike Hewitt, John O'Connor, and with us also is Dr. Rebecca Bridget, County Administrator. Thank you. Tony Jones, who's Public Information Officer. And I can't forget Tommy McKay, who's a former commissioner, Commissioner President. Thank you for being with us today. From the Southern Maryland delegation, the Honorable, and you'll be hearing from Mike Miller, who means so much to all of us and all he does. Senator Thomas McMiddleton is with us, an alum of the college who's been so supportive, as has Sally Jameson, who will also be speaking today, and Dr. Edith Patterson, past employee and delegate as well. Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Wood with us today, and I want to thank Johnny for his service. Betsy Bossert, representing Steny Hoyer, Congressman Hoyer, thank you. From Charles County Board of Education, where we are developing a very strong relationship with them. The board chair is Virginia McGraw. She's with us here today, thank you. As is Mark Crawford and Victoria Kelly, who's also an alum, and we're very proud of all of our alums. And Barbara Palco is with us as well today. Jeff Mayer represents the St. Mary's School District. Thank you, Jeff. Let's see. Lachelle McKay, who's town administrator for the town of Leonardtown. And I want to mention that whenever you put up a building like this, you have a cast of probably hundreds in the planning and the implementation. From Grimm and Parker, these are our architects. We have Dave Oakes and Rick Morrison, who have designed a beautiful building. From the Timmons Group, Bill Vest, engineers, and Luke Fetzko, who have done so much to move this process along. I don't know if Dave Cooksey is here. Is Dave here? Well, Dave, there he is. Dave has been with us every step of the way. Dave, thank you very much. And also, and I know you're here. I apologize, because you weren't on my list. Mr. Melton from Scheibel, who will be constructing the building. And I just want to mention something. You know, we're in Charles County. I don't know if any of the Charles County staff are here, whether it's from the health department, the planning department. What a wonderful partnership. What wonderful employees you have. They never made it easy for us. They adhered to the letter of the law. I wish they had made it a little bit easier. But they worked with us, and they helped us to achieve what we needed to do, and I appreciate that. The owners of Hughesville Station, which sold us a piece of their property as well as helped negotiate the purchase of the Hancock Farm. And today with us we have, I know Don Smolinski, and you see his wonderful Harley-Davidson dealership. I don't know if Ray Mertz and Les Gooding are here, but they were also involved with it. Let's see. And then I wish I could recognize everyone from the Hughesville Business and Civic Alliance. You're going to be hearing from Pauline Brewer in just a little bit. But this is an organization that stood behind the college every step of the way and really made a difference with their very, very strong support. So thank you to them as well. And finally, to members of my own staff who worked with me to get this project done, Dan Mosser, Tony Jernigan, Bill Comey, and Ron Tord, very, very helpful. And lastly, my wife, Linda, who had to put up with me during the good times and bad times. You know, we put up many buildings since I've been president, but never have we started a new campus. And it was interesting. Okay, so now for the rest of the program, I would like to recognize first our board chair, Dorothea Smith. She was appointed to trustee to the board shortly after my arrival in 2007, and she served 2 terms as vice chair before becoming chair. She's a graduate of Bowie State University with a Bachelor of Science degree and a Master's of Education, retired educator, and such a strong supporter of the College of Southern Maryland. Dorothea.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I welcome you to a new chapter in the development of the College of Southern Maryland. It may be a cool, cloudy October day in Hughesville, but many of us are experiencing the warmth, the joy, and the relief that this day has arrived. It has been a fulfilling process for all of us. Beginning in 2010, the concept of a regional campus was carefully reviewed by the College Board of Trustees. The board spent several years considering the idea and performing its due diligence. In the spring of 2014, after years of careful consideration, the Board of Trustees of the College of Southern Maryland moved forward with the purchase of this beautiful piece of property. Centrally located in Southern Maryland with 74 acres, it is the ideal location for the college's 4th campus. It will be a regional campus that will efficiently and effectively serve the residents of Southern Maryland for many decades beyond what the College of Southern Maryland represents today. The master plan, designed by Grimm and Parker Architects for this new and centralized campus, is designed to create a sense of community and to include up to 5 phases of growth. This Board of Trustees has committed to 2 of them. The first phase is the construction of the Center for Trades and Energy Training, for which we will break ground at the end of the program. The second phase is the construction of the state-of-the-art Medical Sciences Building that will provide training and education to the healthcare professionals of the future. Other phases proposed for the campus and reflected in the master plan could include the college's Fine Arts Building, a field house, and the relocation of the college's athletic fields, as well as space to accommodate other needs. The trustees are looking forward to CSM providing Southern Maryland and the Washington, D.C. area employers with a workforce who possess or will possess the skills and attitudes to meet the needs of their employers, and also to continue working with our business partners, school systems, county governments, and economic development teams to provide this comprehensive solution to address the demands for new jobs to the economy that require new skills for our workers. In closing, I would be really remiss if we did not recognize Dr. Brad Godfrey and his vision of a one campus and his leadership team for diligently working to make this day a reality. We want to thank all of you who are here today in attendance, whether you are from the communities, representing your local communities, your local government, state government, business partners, or just the CSM family. We really welcome you and we thank you for your attendance and your support, and we know you are going to continue to support us. Thank you very much.
Okay. Next, we have a very special guest, Dr. Jenny Hunter Severa, who is the acting head of the Maryland Higher Education Commission. She's representing not only the Higher Education Commission, but also Governor Larry Hogan. She serves as Chief Executive Officer of our Post-Secondary Education Coordinating Agency. She advises the Governor, MHEC Commission, and legislators on policies, procedures, and issues pertaining to higher education. And this afternoon she brings greetings on behalf of Governor Larry Hogan. And I want to also mention that she's had a child who has been at a community college, so she also gets it. So I appreciate this.
And I'm happy to tell you that one out of the 7 who did attend community college is now applying to grad school. So if it wasn't for community college, he would have been a wrestler today. So his goal is to end up managing it, so we'll see. But anyway, good afternoon. I'm very honored to be here representing Governor Larry Hogan. As you know, our governor has been under a lot the last 6 months with chemotherapy, and hopefully now is on a road to full recovery, being cancer-free. I'm sure he would have loved to be here today with his very prestigious group of speakers and to meet the citizens and students and staff and faculty that the College of Southern Maryland serves. He values all of our community colleges as the bridge to economic development and as the nucleus for sustainability of our communities. Now, community colleges in the United States have been around since 1920. And the first one in Maryland was 1946, and Hagerstown gets that honor. They have made a difference in so many lives, and they really exemplify the meaning of the word community. Community is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common, a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals, a social group of any size whose members reside in a specific locality, share government, and often have a common cultural and historical heritage. Now I want you to think for a moment of how 3 leaders from 3 different counties, Charles, St. Mary's, and Calvert, came together to create one great community college that has blended the very distinct characteristics of each of the counties. The concept was groundbreaking, and the result is a model to be replicated. Talk about effective and efficient use of taxpayers' dollars and a great return on the investment. So we applaud the Board of Trustees and the Commissioner Boards of Calvert, Charles, and St. Mary's counties for collaborating to serve the needs of the region's approximately 335,000 citizens. Well done. The College of Southern Maryland today offers 120 programs of study, including Associates of Arts, Associates of Science, and Associate of Applied Science degree programs, plus a wide range of continuing education certificates and career training programs such as computer programming and repair, truck driving, nursing, veterinary assistant, and many more. Now, the College of Southern Maryland is a vibrant hub of aspiration, learning, and workforce training. It has opened the doors to all students, and it provides an affordable, accessible, and high-quality education to many residents of Southern Maryland. The College of Southern Maryland is an educational home where many students can launch a lifetime of success. The College of Southern Maryland also has one of the largest VA student populations among Maryland colleges, universities, and training institutions. As a result, they have a very strong record of providing high-quality services to this particular demographic group. In addition to having a full-time Veterans Affairs coordinator and a team of VA advisors, College of Southern Maryland also has its own VA Student Resource Center. Today, the role of our community college is becoming more important as they are restoring the middle class by rebuilding the U.S. workforce and improving its global competitiveness and addressing income inequality. I believe our community colleges are restoring the promise of the American dream. The new campus here in Hughesville will help make that dream come true for so many students. I love the programs being planned since they're so important to the infrastructure and the quality of life and support of many industries. Having a degree or certificate in a trade skill is one of the most honorable professions. It is what built this country, it is what sustains our economy in so many ways, and it benefits all of society. And the energy part, the number one need we need right now is people who can actually put together solar panels and linesmen. So you're right on target with where the workforce needs are. And speaking of benefiting society, I think you probably all know what great citizens Calvert, St. Mary's, and Charles have produced that have impacted not only Maryland, but also the nation. I've decided that the roots of greatness are planted in this part of Maryland. I'm not sure that there's another county like Calvert that produced two First Ladies of the United States. One was Louisa Adams, the wife of President John Quincy Adams, and then Margaret Taylor, the wife of Zachary Taylor. And we all know that behind every man is a great woman. So there they were, they started it. We must not also forget that Calvert County also gave us Thomas Mike Miller. The Maryland Senate President, who has served Marylanders to I think the fullest extent and in so many ways. Now, most of you know I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm independent, but I like this guy. And I think he's done a great job. Now, let's not forget also that St. Mary's County produced the current United States House of Representatives Minority Whip, Steny Hoyer, who, by the way, was one of the best regents the University System of Maryland ever had. As well as Ted Koppel, the former journalist and host of Nightline, and a very important figure in history, Francis Scott Key, who wrote our Star-Spangled Banner. And then from Charles County, we had Barnes Compton, the U.S. Congressman, James Craig, the physician general during the American Revolution, physician to none other than George Washington, and one of my favorites, Danny Gayton, a legendary guitarist, lived right in Newburgh. So I'm sure that many more notable figures will be produced from the students attending the College of Southern Maryland. And I look forward to hearing and reading all about the great accomplishments and contributions to society. Now, in conclusion, being Iroquois, part Native American Indian, I'm very happy to learn that the hawk is your mascot. The hawk is an animal totem that has several attributes and meanings that I feel describes the opportunities for students to have while attending the newest campus of the College of Southern Maryland. Hawk is the messenger of the spirit world. Students should use their intuition to guide their steps in life. Hawk uses the power of focus. So to be focused in your daily undertakings and avoid distractions and focus on the task at hand. Hawks can soar and fly very high in the sky. So hopefully the students will focus on higher perspectives. You can see what's ahead clearly and defy any obstacles that may be in your way. Hawk is also a bird of prey. It takes the lead when the time is right. Hawk emphasizes the ability to lead and influence others by taking initiative and being active. The hawk has the power to see, clear vision, study a situation before taking action, observe it, and then act when the time is right. But hawk, most of all, represents a strong connection with spirit, increased spiritual awareness. And with that, I'm going to ask God to bless not only President Gottfried and the staff here, but bless this new regional campus in Hughesville and the soon-to-be new building that will house the Center for Trades and Energy Training, that he will continue to have many of his children walk onto this campus and through these doors of higher education so that they may continue to grow and learn to serve the great community of Southern Maryland, the great state of Maryland, and the United States of America. So God bless you all, and thank you very much.
Well, how do you introduce Senator Mike Miller? There's no way. All I can say is he's someone who cares so deeply about all of us in Southern Maryland. And without further ado, Senator Miller.
Thank you. Folks, I apologize. I'm going to have to leave. You've been seeing me give these rude phone call interruptions up here. And to show you who really the important person is, we've got a very important meeting scheduled at 4 in Annapolis with all the fiscal leaders. And so I'm supposed to preside, and Speaker of the House is supposed to preside. And so my chief of staff called me, and I said, look, you got to move the meeting till 4:30. You got to push it back till 4:30. And she says, well, you stay there for a little while longer. She says, so we can start, and you can catch up. She said, I said, well, Mac Middleton's with me. Mac Middleton's with you. She says, we'll move it to 4:30. So anyway, I'm very honored to be here. You know, when I was a small boy growing up in Southern Maryland, it was a little but it was a little church, country church, and it wasn't going anywhere. It was following World War II. I mean, it had the outhouses behind the church, and everybody was just a little country church, a little oil burner, and I was the altar boy in the church, and nothing was happening. So the area started to grow, and so the Archbishop said, we're going to send a visionary leader out there to make something happen. And they sent a new priest, Father Francis Xavier Walsh. He's from Cumberland. And next thing you know, we got a hole in the ground next to the old church. And the old priest got up and he says, it's only a mud hole, but it's a glorious mud hole. You know what I mean? Well, this is just a dirt floor, but it's a glorious dirt floor because it's a beginning. It's a beginning of regionalization. I wish, the two things you don't want to see being made is sausages and laws. I wish getting this together was as easy as Brad said it was, because it was hell on wheels trying to get 3 commissioners and legislators to agree on governance and funding, and people giving up certain things and adding different regions, recognizing what was good for the best of all. And it was a huge sacrifice on the part of so many people, and it just really gratified that this really is participatory democracy at its very best. So Senator Milton and I are going to go through that door at 3:30, and we just want to say thank you very much for a job well done. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Maryland Delegate Sally Jamison. She's been a member of the House of Delegates since January 2003. She's chair of the Southern Maryland delegation and has been Deputy Majority Whip of the House of Delegates since 2007. She's a former student of Charles County Community College, and she has a unique perspective of watching us grow. So we're very proud to have her join us, Delegate Sally Jamison.
Well, good afternoon. We're very happy to be here, and with me today I have several members of the Southern Maryland delegation. You've already heard from Mike Miller. Senator Mac Middleton is here in the front, along with Delegate Edith Patterson, and I don't see anyone else other than a person we can never forget, and that's the former Delegate Johnny Wood. We have all been behind the College of Southern Maryland since it was Charles County Community College. We've loved this facility, and it has grown a lot, and it is serving the needs of the counties that are part of it, but just today. We always have to think about the future, and we know that there are a lot of more wonderful people who we can recognize in the future as great leaders of Southern Maryland, in addition to the ones that Jenny talked about. And they are more than likely going to come from a beginning within this college. We're very fortunate to be able to locate here in Hughesville. This weekend, my husband is taking me to Western Maryland, going to take the grandkids and all and get on that steam locomotive and drive up the side of the mountain and look at the beautiful trees. Well, I think what we really should have done, he should have brought me down, circled around the roundabout a few times so I could have looked at the trees, and we would have saved a little bit of money and a lot of time. But what a beautiful site for a campus. I expect great things. I know that we have worked hard to ensure that the monies were going to be available for this. And I too thank all of the county commissioners who have worked on this project together. And it goes way back before then. I know Elaine Ryan, the former president, had quite a vision, but by golly, I think Brad Godford has the best vision for all of us. So thank you all for being with us today, and we look forward to the other ribbon cutting that will happen, we hope, in a very short time. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Now we're going to hear from our 3 commissioner presidents. We'll start with, and by the way, I should mention, in case you didn't hear this, that we are so pleased with our delegation because 75% of the cost of construction of this new building, in fact, all of the buildings, will be paid for by the state, and Charles County will be paying 25%. So it's my honor to welcome Charles County Commissioner President Peter Murphy. He served on the Board of Commissioners since December of 2014, and previous to that, I think we all know he was a member of the House of Delegates for 7 years. House Chair of the Charles County delegation for 2 years, and I believe one of Peter's daughters was a student at the college as well. So Peter?
Thank you, Brad, and good afternoon. I want to thank you very much for inviting me to be able to speak today on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners and really all the residents of Charles County regarding this newest edition, your Regional Hughesville Campus. I just want to say that we are so proud of the futures, and I pluralize that the college has built and continues to build in its campuses, all of them. The College of Southern Maryland has proven to be a catalyst for growing our communities, for the county partnerships that we have with St. Mary's and Calvert, for employment, for our economic growth, and for continuing education, not just for our younger people, but for our adults as well, for career enhancement and personal enrichment for all of our residents and all generations of our residents throughout the counties. So we're here and today and very pleased that the college will feature this campus in Hughesville, which is our county's largest village. And the new campus will have the opportunity to expand on the college's legacy, to join the campuses together, to benefit the entire Tri-County region. And I think that's significant and that's key. And it was said earlier, one of the things that sets us apart in the state of Maryland is that we work together and that we see ourselves as a region. We pull all our resources together, and you can see what wonderful things we do as a result of that. This will help revitalize Hughesville, our residents. And we all look forward to hearing many, many success stories, and we expect to hear them as you go forward for our future students and all of our community members. And so with that, I want to thank you all, and I mean all because you heard the litany of people to put this together. Isn't that wonderful when you think about it, what people can do when we all come together? And this is a testimony to that. But thank you for bringing us and bringing this vision forward. Thank you so much. And thank you. It's not in your program, but at this point I'm going to bring Vice President Ken Robinson forward for a few remarks, please.
Well, those of you who know me know I've spent a lot of time talking about this campus for the past several years, so I'm going to keep my remarks relatively brief. What we are about to break ground on, I see as the intersection between education and economic development. The education portion is obvious. The college has been doing a fabulous job for generations educating our young people, but what will be taking place here will be education of energy and trades and teaching entrepreneurs and workers for a new green economy, and that's very exciting. Also with economic development, and you've heard it mentioned briefly, that this is also breaking ground on the revitalization of a very important village in our region. And so the regional campus of the College of Southern Maryland will bring a new Hughesville, and that's very exciting. You've also heard about the partnerships. Well, one additional complication was, as this was coming to fruition, it was an election season. So administrations were changing at both the local and state level. So there are a lot of folks to thank, not only my colleagues currently as Charles County Commissioners, but my colleagues in the past administration. The same goes for St. Mary's and Calvert County. So you really have more than just 12 commissioners. There's probably more like 20 commissioners to thank. The same is true at the state level. We could not have done this without the help of the previous governor's office, as well as state planning, as well as Governor Hogan's office that has taken over about a year ago. I'm going to conclude by quoting Vice President Biden. Actually, I'm only going to partially quote him. I heard this last week, and I couldn't think of a more appropriate place to say it. This is a big deal. Thank you.
Next, we have Randy Guy, who is serving his first term as Commissioner President in St. Mary's County. He was born in Leonardtown. He is a graduate with a degree in Transportation and Traffic Management from the Community College of the Air Force. He served as deputy service in addition to his military service. And we're also very proud not only of Commissioner President Guy, but his wife is a graduate of CSM as well. Commissioner?
Yeah, my wife graduated and she continued on getting actually University of Maryland and plus 2 master's degrees after that. She now works at Joint Chiefs of Staff as a Resource Management Office Director at Joint Chiefs of Staff. Thank you very much. Senator Miller, Delegate Jameson, Dr. Godfrey, and Dr. Severa, and all honored guests, especially my commissioner colleagues. We meet once a week just to talk, once a month, I'm sorry, once a month's enough, to talk over problems that are jointly with us, and actually it's worked out very well. We have just like this is a tri-county campus, we have the same thing. It is an honor to represent my fellow commissioners and the citizens of St. Mary's County on this momentous occasion as we break ground on this new regional campus at the College of Southern Maryland. This campus will serve the needs of our citizens by providing access to training facilities for trades, energy, and the health services industries. Students who attend training here will be among the most highly sought in Southern Maryland. It will also help St. Mary's and our neighboring counties to continue on the road to diversifying our respective economies. Finally, CSM adds yet another piece of its impressive portfolio of facilities and offerings available to our citizens. CSM continues to be a great partner in St. Mary's County, and with the addition of this campus, I'm confident that all of our citizens will be the ones to reap the benefits. Again, thank you very much for this opportunity to take part in this special occasion.
And still another alum, Commissioner President Steve Weems, who not only is an alum of the college, but also served on our soccer team. He was elected as an at-large representative to the Board of County Commissioners in 2010, served as Board Vice President in 2014, currently serves as the Board's President. He's also served as on the Tri-County Council of Southern Maryland, and on his executive board as chair in 2014. Steve Weems.
Thank you, Dr. Godfrey. I'm going to be slightly interactive. How many in attendance here today? Please raise your hand if you attended a community college. All right. How many attended Charles County Community College? Very good. See, Dr. Godfrey, that's a story of success for all. Absolutely. And Dr. Jenny, like your son, I was thinking about being a wrestler prior to attending community college as well. I'm going to be brief, and congratulations, sincerely, on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners. I came here, and I try to encapsulate my thoughts as I go to various events, but what was touched upon with the collaboration of Southern Maryland as a whole, there was a slogan for Maryland, unity through diversity, years ago, and I really think that encapsulates what the College of Southern Maryland is all about. I commend you, I congratulate you, and thank you on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Commissioner Weems. So a lot of effort is going into constructing this building. And by the way, our second building, as I mentioned, Health Sciences, will be 40,000 square feet. We have an 18,000 square foot building on the Plata campus. We're going to move it here. We're going to increase it by more than double. We cannot offer specialties that our hospitals and medical professionals need, such as x-ray technicians, such as respiratory therapists. We'll be able to offer all of these programs here on this campus. And so when the building opens, this first building, the Center for Trades and Energy Training, will be handing the keys over to Dr. Dan Mosser, who's the Vice President of the college's Continuing Education and Workforce Development area. And so the pressure will be on him to really realize the dream and the promise. He's been with the college for 5 years, but has 30 years experience in the public and private sector. Dr. Mosser?
Thank you, and good afternoon. This new Center for Trades and Energy Training will support the need for skilled professionals right here in our community, including construction careers like welding, plumbing, HVAC, electrical, carpentry, energy sector jobs like linemen and solar technicians, plus environmental and wastewater management training via our Maryland Center for Environmental Training, or MCET. It's our goal to offer residents of Southern Maryland and the Washington metropolitan region an opportunity to learn a skilled trade here at CSM and thus earn a living wage that will provide them with career mobility, job satisfaction, and the ability to use their hands to create something and the pride that comes with it. This new Center for Trades and Energy Training will provide Southern Maryland residents with expanded access to specialized training in the skilled trades. CSM's total enrollment in workforce development last year was just under 13,000 enrollments. 1,500 of those enrollments was at our current Center for Trades and Energy Training in Waldorf. We look forward to expanding our course offerings through this new facility to provide even more training opportunities to prepare skilled local workforce in the construction, energy, and wastewater management sectors. CSM has been providing construction trades instruction in HVAC, electrical, carpentry, plumbing for years, plus AWS, American Welding Society, certified welding instruction. But locating this center as part of CSM's new regional campus will enable us to expand our quality training offerings to include additional trades and to reach more of our local residents. Projected job growth in the skilled trades by the Bureau of Labor Statistics for 2022 include faster than average job growth for all of these trades and more. 21% in HVAC, 20% for electricians, 20% for carpentry, 21% for plumbing. Yet, employers continue to report difficulty finding qualified skilled workers. Through classroom instruction and hands-on training, the Center for Trades and Energy Training prepares our region's residents in just 10 to 16 weeks to be top-notch skilled workers filling some of these entry-level positions in these high-demand occupations. Students such as Anita Hawkins, who will be sharing remarks shortly, is an example of how local residents can learn a trade that provides meaningful and self-sustaining employment while helping to meet this region's need for skilled workers. The Center for Trades and Energy Training is well known for such points of distinction as, number one, we are North American Technical Excellence Certified, NATE certified testing facility for HVAC. NATE is the leading nonprofit certification for technicians in the HVAC industry. We are certified by the North American Board for Certified Energy Practitioners as a solar energy training and testing facility. And third, we provide professional, hands-on instruction that meets and even exceeds the Maryland Department of Labor Licensing and Regulation registered apprenticeship standards. Industry associations, employers, and trade unions, such as Associated Builders and Contractors, Independent Electrical Contractors, SMECO, Sheet Metal Workers International, and Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union have all hired our graduates and or have provided advanced placement in their registered apprenticeship programs for our completers. That happens nowhere else in Maryland other than CSM. We are the only community college that gets that courtesy. With this new state-of-the-art facility, we look forward to even greater opportunities to excel and to help our students achieve beyond their expectations. With that, please join me in welcoming to the podium Anita Hawkins. Anita will provide a student perspective. She enrolled in our Fundamentals of Welding course about a year ago from instructor Tony Wright, and Anita is a rising craftswoman in her trade. Anita?
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be joining you today for this ceremony, and I'm honored to have been chosen to tell you my story. I've always enjoyed working with my hands and being creative, and I feel proud of myself after completing a project. In high school, I took a carpentry class and I really enjoyed it, but I didn't know if I wanted to pursue carpentry as a career. After high school, I worked in retail for a few years, and I wasn't satisfied with what I was doing. I knew I can do so much more. When I learned of the welding courses at CSM, I signed up. I was excited for the first day of class. Although I thought we would mostly hear lectures and work from a book, almost immediately we were welding in the lab. From the first time I learned to strike an arc welding on carbon steel and aluminum through the process of shielded metal arc welding, gas metal arc welding, and gas tungsten arc welding, I was hooked. Now at 24, I have found the field that I love, welding. It's a field in which I can work with my hands, challenge myself, and feel proud in my work. I'm grateful that I'm able to learn welding close to home, so I'm glad that CSM is adding another location that's closer to a greater number of people in Southern Maryland. I'm glad that I found what I want to do in life, and thank you to everyone involved in supporting and encouraging trade students like me.
We do see enrollment skyrocketing here at our CTET Center as we add more students, more residents from Calvert and St. Mary's counties that were not able to partake with the facility up in Waldorf. I do want to recognize the person who's going to be on site at the Center for Trades and Energy Training, and that is Bruce Posey. Would you stand and be recognized, Bruce? And last, and certainly not least, is a very special person, Pauline Brewer. Right from the very start, in fact, in dealing with and interacting with Joe Slater, he said, as you develop your partnerships, the most important partnership you can develop along with the commissioners and all of the other elected officials will be with the Hughesville Business and Civic Alliance. And that alliance and that relationship has grown and prospered. And as I indicated, we would not be here today with their active and ongoing support. So I'm very pleased to welcome to the podium Pauline Brewer.
I don't want to bring this microphone too close to me. You might hear my heart pounding out of my chest. It's the excitement of this groundbreaking and what it means for the village of Hughesville. I'd like to take a moment to give you a brief history of the village. Hughesville was settled as part of the Southern Maryland region in 1643 and was a crossroads agricultural community in the late 19th century. This region established its economy and currency around the tobacco agricultural industry. With that industry and the establishment of the railroad, the village continued to grow during the first half of the 20th century. Tobacco was the economic keystone of the region and the primary economic engine until the latter portion of the 20th century. The village currently hosts a variety of historic resources, including bungalows and other early 20th century mail-order homes, tobacco warehouses, a department store, and a Quaker cemetery. In 1998, the Maryland Historical Trust determined that 5 structures in the village meet the criteria for listing on the National Register of Historic Places. As of 2007, Hughesville was determined to be the home of 46 brick and mortar businesses. Because Hughesville is designated as a village, we are a state and county recognized priority funding area. We are the largest village in Charles County, encompassing over 600 acres of land. The fact that we are uniquely situated in the central portion of the Southern Maryland Tri-County region is a strategic asset. Hughesville provides access to the entire region, and with the completion of the bypass, we have an opportunity to revitalize the village and attract new development consistent with our approved revitalization plan. This plan was developed with considerable involvement by the Hughesville Revitalization Advisory Committee, the Hughesville business community, and the community at large. Just 3 years after the adoption of the plan, residents, businesses, and landowners formed an alliance, Hughesville Business and Civic Alliance, or HBCA, with the goal of proactively pursuing the vision of the plan and facilitating and managing the revitalization, infill, and new development opportunities that are possible in our future. In 2012, we learned of the college's plan to build a regional campus. We believed Hughesville would be the perfect location, not only for the campus and its students, but for our community as well. We could envision the opportunities that would develop as a result of the vibrancy the students of CSM would bring to the village. We were thrilled the day CSM announced their decision to build their regional campus here, and we are thrilled and beyond proud to be here today to witness this groundbreaking. This location will truly serve the region and defines this learning institution's name, the College of Southern Maryland.
Could I ask all members of the Hughesville Business and Civic Alliance to please stand and be recognized? You work so hard for the betterment of this area. Thank you. I'd also like to thank, as we start to wrap things up, the Hughesville Baptist Church. I don't know if Dr. Derek Yelton, Senior Pastor, is here, and Kevin Cullens, Associate Pastor. What wonderful neighbors, and we're excited to have them as part of our partners. And we also have members of our advisory councils, Charles, St. Mary's, and Calvert, if you are part of it. Thank you for being here. And lastly, before we dedicate this new campus and then do our groundbreaking, I mentioned to you the challenge that we have. There are hundreds and thousands of our fellow citizens who are not able to get an education. And this is especially true of the Center for Trades and Energy Training. People who want to be welders or carpenters or plumbers or HVAC technicians. There's no federal money for these individuals. And to come up with $1,000, $2,000 is like a mountain. These are individuals who are either working in low-paying jobs or unemployed. And I want to recognize our foundation members who are here today because they're making a difference in the lives of thousands of individuals by raising money for them. And I'm going to recognize them: Renee Franklin, who's the chair of our foundation board, Leah Estevez, Brenda Lowe, Jay Lilly, Jean McDougall, Steve Proctor, and Gary Simpson. So thank you all. So we were going to do a classic groundbreaking. And I said to Karen Smith-Hupp, and by the way, where is Karen? Karen Smith-Hupp actually, I think, lived here for a while. She came early this morning to make sure everything was working properly. There are so many moving parts, as you can imagine, and I want to recognize Karen Smith-Hupp and her staff. Thank you. Wonderful. So how do you dedicate a new campus, though? So I thought, okay, why don't we knock some champagne against a tree? Well, have you ever tried to knock a bottle of champagne against a tree? My luck, it would bounce off and hit me in the head. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to pop the cork to dedicate this campus. Do I have any good poppers of corks? You would like to? Come on, you can do it. Yeah. Ready, aim it right over there.
Do I get to shake it?
No.
Can I shake it?
Take it back. Shake it real hard first. Yeah, point in this direction. There you go.
Ready. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. And now it's time to dedicate or to break ground. Is it raining out there hard? Just a little bit? Okay, good. We're going to be breaking ground for our first building, the Center for Trades and Energy Training.